Hi everyone, and welcome to Squirrel Pie Productions. My name is Tommi. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Dynamite Trujillo. Welcome to episode 80 of my podcast. Thank you so much for being here. If you are a new viewer, welcome, and if you are a returning viewer, a big welcome back. Today is a beautiful and sunny and bright and very warm Wednesday in July here on the Northern California coast where I'm coming to you from. You may or may not have noticed I have switched recording days, so for a while I was putting out a video every other Thursday, but I have switched to Wednesdays because my schedule has changed a little bit. But anyway, we have a Ravelry group for this podcast that you should go check out and join if you feel so inclined. We also have show notes that you can find in the description box below where I link to everything that I talk about in today's episode. And if there's anything I missed, please let me know and I will rectify. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about some knitting and some sewing and some weaving and some other stuff. And first off, I have a knitted finished object to talk about. I finished my Soldotna Crop. That is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter, and I love it. So I knitted this sweater in Moonstone Dyeworks yarn, which is my hand-dyed yarn company, and you can find a link to it in the description box below. And I used my Soldotna kit for this sweater. So if you're interested in making one like it, you can find links to the kits below. They are still available for pre-order, and I actually have one kit that is ready to ship now. If you happen to want it, order a pre-order and it'll be out like tomorrow. Anyway, so the yarns that come in the kit that I have used for the sweater are as follows. So the background main color for the body is Stardust, and that's a tonal pink. And then the next color, which is the next main color, is Wild Honey, and that's this mustard gold yellow. And then the next color is this dark purple for the arrows, and that's Venus. And then the background color here, and then it's also an accent color up here and here, is Magical Creatures. So here is the entirety of my Soldotna Crop. I love it. I really, really do. I knit the second to smallest size, so it does have some positive ease, as the pattern suggests. And I'm so happy with how it came out. I really, really like it. So I did make a couple of modifications. The biggest one is that I added sleeves. I just wasn't that attracted to the short sleeve sweater thing, and especially in heavier weight yarn. I think I'm okay with it with a really lightweight knitted top, but for something that is DK color work, which color work, all over color work, kind of adds bulk to the fabric as well. So I feel like this is a little bit of a thicker sweater. I wanted sleeves. I just did. So I added sleeves. And that's what my sleeve looks like. So adding the sleeves was really pretty simple. I just picked up the stitches that I had on holders, and where the pattern designer calls for you to just do some ribbing, I just reattached the main yarns and did the same patterning as was on the body. I added some decreases to shape the arm to make it snug fitting. I did decreases just kind of randomly as I felt like it, and then duplicated them on the next sleeve. So I think I did them about every couple inches. So there's one like here, 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 here. And I just knit for as long as I had yarn to knit. So when I was done with the body, I took the Stardust leftovers, split it into two equally sized balls, and I knit until I ran out of yarn. At that point, I didn't think the sleeves were quite long enough yet, so I subbed in some of the Magical Creatures, which is the fourth color. And that's what that looks like. I think it looks totally fine. I think I stopped the Stardust right about here and just did a few rounds with Magical Creatures in the background. And then I did the same thing with the Wild Honey. So when I was done with the body, I took what I had left over, split it in half. This is the sleeve that I did first. And that's how much I got out of that last ball. My second ball was a little bit smaller because I did not get as long of a cuff. As you can see, this cuff is shorter than this cuff by like a few rounds. So I think I do plan on ripping a couple rounds out of this cuff to make a match, because it's a little significant, right? Anyway, I did, I think, 4.5 repeats of the body chart. I think that's right. But it says for sure in my project page for this thing, which you can also find in the show notes below, which I think is a very cool thing that I've started doing. I've actually started linking to my project pages. That way, if you happen to be interested in looking at the project page on Ravelry, that's down there too. So the only other thing that I changed was an accident. I just read the wrong instructions for one minor thing right up here. So pretty much what I did is I did the neckband, and then I I did the short row shaping back here, which is what this stockinette section of Wild Honey is. And then I went straight into the color work, where for my size, which was the second to smallest size, I was supposed to do like an extra stockinette round of Wild Honey, but I read the wrong size for that particular part of the pattern, and I did not do that, which is totally fine because it doesn't matter. So that's it. That's my Soldotna Crop, and I really, really love it. The way that this top fits me is really great up here. I feel like the arms and the shoulders, the neck, everything fits really good. The positive ease, which comes into play down here, I feel like I need to wear the right thing underneath this thing for it to look good. I've tried it on with several different outfits, and with some outfits it looks kind of bad because there is so much positive ease in this sweater that if I wear something too loose or drapey or flowy underneath it, I kind of just look like, I don't know, it just doesn't look great. But I think if I wear something a little more form-fitting, then it looks pretty good. And what I'm wearing right now totally clashes, and I know, but there's a reason for it, and I will talk about it later. But I feel like this shape of thing looks pretty good under it, even with all the positive ease. But that's just kind of something to watch out for when I'm putting together outfits with this sweater, is I can't just be haphazardly throwing it over whatever I happen to be wearing, because I think it might look weird with some stuff. But overall, I'm super happy with the sweater. I'm really, really glad I made it. It is a continuation of my crop top obsession, which I plan on continuing hardcore for a little while. I have so many plans and ideas and cropped things that I want in it. It's ridiculous because there's just too many things that I want to make. But anyway, I love it. I'm so into it. Love how it turned out. I love knitting color work with DK weight yarn. It's just a really great combination for me in terms of thickness and technique. I really like it. And I really liked using the hand-dyed yarn in color work, which isn't something I have that much experience in, I don't think. But it was so fun. Yes. Like it. Okay, moving on. That was my only knitted FO. Let's talk about my works in progress. After I readjust myself, because I gotta, do the thing. Oh, and drink some coffee. Because I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. Intermission. Yesterday was Lucy's birthday. Her first birthday. It was so much fun. She ate lots of birthday cake. My niece, who visited last weekend with my sister and other niece and stuff, made her a birthday cake. It's one of those little like baby birthday cakes with like no sugar. And it's just like a little, it's kind of like banana bread. And so she ate a lot of that yesterday for her birthday. And then today is my husband Colin's birthday. So that's pretty cool. But I'm tired. Not really because of that. I just, you know, sleep. Who needs it? I need it. I would like to have more of it. Please. Okay, moving on to works in progress. I have cast on a new pair of socks, and they are living in this really cool linen drawstring bag that I have from Tuft Woolens. And on it is one more pin that I found, and this is my Fat Squirrel pin. So this is from Amy Beth of the Fat Squirrel Speaks podcast and Fat Squirrel bags, which of course you know are like my favorite project bags. And it's a sparkly squirrel, and she's wearing glasses, and she says, "Yo." So cool. Amy Beth, how come you're so cool? I don't know. So I cast on a pair of shorty socks using some Nox Yarn Co. And this is the leftover yarn from my Ripple Bralette, which was a Jessie Mae Martinson pattern. This is Nox Yarn Co.'s Mars sock base, and it's the Bifrost colorway. And I love it. It's beautiful. And I am knitting the Lyne Socks by Dawn Henderson. And they're beautiful. So this is a pair of shorty socks. This is my first ever pair of shorty socks for myself. I am really excited about them. I've been wanting a pair of shorty socks for quite a little while. I've been like craving it. Like sometimes in the day, if I'm home and I'm walking around barefoot and I want to put a pair of socks on just so that I don't have to walk around barefoot on my floors that I haven't cleaned in like a week, and I don't want to put on a full pair of socks because it's hot, I've been really craving a pair of shorty socks, so I cast one on. These socks have this really cute scalloped cuff, and then on the bottom of the foot they're stockinette. They have a heel flapping gusset, and then on the top of the foot they have ribbing. Now the thing with this pattern is that I totally changed it a little bit. So the stitches in the scallop and the ribbing are all supposed to be twisted stitches. So it's supposed to be twisted stitches up here and twisted ribbing on the top of the foot. I don't know why, but I particularly dislike twisted stitches. I don't know why. I just don't like them. So I took them out. For the scallops, I just made all of the twisted knit stitches into regular knit stitches. And then for the ribbing on the foot, I just changed the twisted ribbing to regular ribbing, which is really simple to do. And I still think it looks really, really good. And so you just do this really small scalloped cuff, and then you go straight into the heel flap, and then you do the foot. And I'm enjoying these so much. I really, really like them. I am 100% a stockinette sock kind of girl. I don't love knitting patterned socks, but the nice thing about this patterned sock is that the pattern is that big, so you can do it and then get on with the rest of the foot, half of which is stockinette and the other half is ribbing. I can totally handle ribbing. That's awesome. And I'm really excited about it. I've tried them on, they fit good. I'm making the smaller size. The pattern comes in 2 sizes, and I'm making the smaller size, which coordinates perfectly with the stitch count that I normally use. I'm using my size US Zeros Chiaogu interchangeable twist mini needles, and I love the yarn. I'm loving this pattern, and they're just perfect. They're just perfect. I can't wait to wear them. I think they're going to be really cute. I've tried them on and they fit really great. I was a little, I guess, weary of the fact that you just do such a small cuff and then go straight into the heel, because I was like, shouldn't I do like a teeny bit more, just like stockinette or ribbing or something before doing the heel flap? But I was like, no, I'm just going to listen to the pattern. And I tried them on, and the way they fit with such a small cuff is really nice. I do really like it. They sit very low on the ankle, but they're super cute. I can't wait to like finish them and try them on and take a picture so that you can see how they fit, because they're really, really cute and I really like them. So that's my current pair of socks. They are the Lyne Socks by Dawn Henderson and Nox Yarn Co. Super pretty. I like them. Okay. My next work in progress is another pair of socks. And it's a pretty boring pair of socks, but it's great. These have been getting me through Stranger Things, which is a show that I adore, even though I do not like scary things. I do like sci-fi, and I particularly like sci-fi where it's a group of kids who have to save the world. I love it. And I can't knit on anything complicated while I'm watching it, because then I miss things because I'm looking at my knitting. So these socks have been getting me through Stranger Things. I have finished it though. I'm all done watching Stranger Things. Did you watch it? Did you like it? What do you think? Do you think they're gonna come out with another season? I feel like they're not going to. I don't know. I feel like that's the type of show where, like, if they kept making seasons, people would keep watching because people love it so much because it's all good. But they gotta stop themselves at some point, I think, before it gets old and tired and, like, you know, you gotta burn out rather than fade away. You know what I mean? Before it gets bad. Anyway. I really like Stranger Things. I was trying to convince my niece to go as 11 for Halloween because I have this niece and she looks just like 11 in this current season. Like, they look a lot alike. But she's never seen Stranger Things because she's like 13 and it's too scary. And her parents don't watch it either. So I don't think she's gonna do it. Anyway. These are my, what am I doing? These are my Regia Pairfect socks. These are my Spousal 2.0 socks, which means I'm making them for my husband. And 2.0s because I've made him one other pair of socks in our history together. This is the second pair, and they're great. It's Regia Pairfect, which is this business here. Can't tell you the colorway because I accidentally cut that part off of the tag, I realized. So this is my finished sock. It is a 72 stitch count sock on a size 1 needle. And since it's the Pairfect kind, I started off with the section that you're supposed to start off with, which has got a yellow leader yarn. And they want you to do it top down so that you get this nice striping effect on the cuff. So it's got this fantastic blue cuff. This is a 2x2 ribbing. And I did a heel flap and gusset. Because of course I did. Because that's what I do. There we go. And then I finished it off with a wedge toe, and this toe got Kitchenered about that far from the middle separation yellow leader yarn, which means that this sock took the entirety of what Regia thought it should take at the maximum for one sock. So I started the second one. Same thing. This is on my size 1 Chiago Mini Twist Interchangeable, and I have got this Taco Progress Keeper on it from Sucre Miniatures. Boom. I really like these. I love working with Regia yarn. I really, really do. And I don't know, it's fun. It's stockinette, it's boring. I like that. So these have been super fun to work on. This is what I have left, and I will be knitting up all of it. Okay. These socks are living in my Emerald Fibers bag. And this is, I believe, machine embroidered with this beautiful moon and stars and like lacy drapiness kind of pattern. I think I got this from Starlight Knitting Society, but she does have her own shop. Possibly on Etsy? I don't know. I'll link to something in the show notes if you want to find this bag. Or other bags like hers. I don't know if she still sells this bag, but it's beautiful, right? I love it. Okay, my last knitting work in progress is the sweater that I was working on last week. It is living in my Woodsy and Wild bag. And it's the Nurtured by Andrea Mowry. And I have made some progress on this, but not that much. It looks like this now, whereas last week I think it looked like this. So I've done that much. This is a bottom-up cropped worsted weight pullover by Andrea Mowry, and it has got this like slip stitch sort of honeycombish maybe kind of textured pattern, which is fun and super simple, but of course it's slow going. Any kind of pattern, all over pattern stitch for me is slow going. That's just how I roll. And so this is taking a while. I am keeping track of my sleeve increases with some nifty bulb coilless safety pin stitch markers. I'm knitting it on a size US 8 with my Licca interchangeable short tips. And I'm using Dream in Color Classy. So this is a worsted weight superwash merino yarn from Dream in Color. It's the Chocolate Night colorway, which is a really deep brown. It's a deep tonal brown. I've knit a sweater out of this before. I didn't like it and then I ripped it out. So I have like a million of these guys that I'm working from. And that's totally fine. I'm into it. Doesn't bother me. And I guess that's it for that. I don't know. It's a sleeve so far. I really like the sweater, so I can't wait to have it. Okay. Is that it? I guess that's all I have to say about that. I want to knit more sweaters. Okay. 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 That's it for knitting. Now, I have a couple of other things that I have been making. The first of which that I'm going to talk about is a weaving. I love it so much. This is my weaving that I made. It's a little wall hanging and it's awesome. So I was given this little loom as a gift from Kalisha of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. Thank you so much, Kalisha. I'm so into this weaving that I made on the loom that you gave me. So it's a little like kind of wooden laser cut loom that came in a kit that she sent me. And I used the little cotton thread that came in the kit to warp it, I think is the correct terminology. And then it came with some other yarn that you were supposed to use, but I went rogue and I used whatever I wanted. So that's what I've got here. And I kind of just was experimenting. I still don't really know what I was doing, but I did not know what I was doing at the time either. And I just kind of took yarn and did what felt right. So let's see, it starts out down here with some fiber that I'm currently spinning. And this is some, I think, spun right round fiber. And I just kind of did like what I'm guessing is like a plain weave through here. And then right here, I practiced with what I think is called sumac, or like kind of like the thing that looks kind of braided. And then I used some Brooklyn Tweed, I can't remember what it's called, but the bulky weight Brooklyn Tweed. And it's really puffy and bulky and like wooleny. And it's just this gray. And so I did like a plain weave here and it kind of like scooped up because some of this was like, I don't know. I don't know why it scoops up, but I think I smashed some of it down and left some of it kind of puffy. And then up here, I tried to do what I think is called sumac, but I think I did it kind of like wrong. Like I did it one way and then on the way back I did it the wrong way. So it doesn't look exactly like a braid, it looks more like a knit stitch. And then here I used some DK weight held double, some Moonstone Dyeworks in the Frostbite colorway, which is one of my holiday colorways. And that's what this purple is. And for that, I kind of just like, I went back and forth because it was dipped right here. So I was kind of going for like an eyeball shape, not an eyeball shape, but like an eye shape, you know, like that. And then over here, I added some more Moonstone Dyeworks. This was leftover yarn from my Soldotna, and this is Magical Creatures. And I did the same thing. It's DK weight yarn. I held it double, and I just kind of went back and forth and created this little like triangle. And then I had this kind of swoop here, and so I just thought I would try that sumac thing again because I really like the look of it. It just looks like a braid, right? I thought I'd try that again with some fiber. And so this is some Sweet Georgia like bamboo fiber, and I did it wrong again, but I love the way it looks. So I went up one side and then I went back through the other direction to do the second row, and I did it the same direction. So like both of these, instead of like going opposites to make it look like a braid, they're both just going the same direction. Yeah. But whatever, I don't care. I think it looks cool. It's not like right, I don't think, but it still looks really good. I like how it kind of bulbs out right here, and then up here it kind of like comes out a little bit too. And then for the rest of it, I just kind of went back and I did more Brooklyn Tweed, and then I did the Magical Creatures again, and then the Frostbite again. And then here I took some of this same fiber and just did like some plain weave, one row, and then the next row a little bit shorter, and then the next row a little bit shorter, so it kind of looks like like that. This thing, I have no idea what this is. This was just like chaos, and I don't even know. I don't think I'll ever do that again though. I think it looks kind of I don't think it looks quite, you know, I don't I don't know how much I like it, but it's fine. I don't know, whatever, it's fine. And like when I added this, I had weaving like through right here. So the bottom half of it is like almost embroidered on top of the weaving, and then the top half, it's just like on the warp. And then so the top half got like swooped like this, which I really actually like how the top turned out with this swoop. And then for the bottom, it had these extra holes down here, which I think are meant for tassels. But I just took some more of that fiber and I just kind of like went like that. And so that's how it's lined down there. And then I took the ends of the cotton and I just went like that so that I can hang it on the wall. Oh, I love it. It's so cool. I'm so like surprised that I made this. I love it. I think it looks like really cool and intentional, even though it totally wasn't. So I'm really happy with it. And I'm excited to try and do more stuff like this. I really still want to, I don't know, I might just buy one, but I still really want to try to make a frame loom that has pegs on it so that I can do this pretty much and then take the weaving off. Because this one, it's on there because it goes through the holes, and I could figure out some way to cut it out so I can reuse the frame, but I don't want to do that. I'm actually really happy with how it looks just in the frame, and I like that the frame is like part of the weaving. But I still do want to make another loom where I can actually take the weaving off the frame and then reuse the frame. So, because I want to keep weaving, because I really, really liked this. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm going to hang it on my wall. Okay. That's my weaving. It was so much fun. I really, really enjoyed it. Okay. Next, I'm going to talk about sewing. I did quite a bit of sewing over the past couple weeks, and with mixed results. Some of it's a little weird. Some of it's really cool. Some of it I don't like that much. So let's get into sewing. Ta-da! So off came the sweater, and thank goodness, because it's really warm here, which is the first time I think that's happened to me. I hear a lot of podcasters like put on sweaters to show them, and then they're like, oh, it's so hot, I gotta take it off. That's never happened to me. I live in a pretty cool climate, and so this is the first time I've ever like been in my sweater and been like, okay. Anyway. This is my first sewn finished garment. It is the Arum Dress by Deer and Doe Patterns, and I used double gauze. I don't know the like fabric designer or anything. This is fabric that I've had in my stash for a pretty long time, and I was really happy to use it. So the Arum Dress, Deer and Doe. It was really easy. It was really simple to put together. And the way that I did this is I cut out the pattern. Well, I had the paper pattern, so all I had to do was trim around the pattern pieces. And I cut out the fabric the day before I sewed it. So that was great. I cut it out during one of Lucy's naps. And I then sewed it together the next day, and it's probably the simplest dress I've ever constructed. It was really quick and easy and simple and really straightforward and really basic to sew together. And overall, I like it. There are some things that are kind of like, that didn't quite work out for me, so I had to change some stuff and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so it's like, man, okay, I'm doing it. Hold on. I gotta stand on some stuff here. Okay, ready? Here's the dress. So it's this kind of like shift kind of style, and I really like the length a lot. And, okay, now I gotta put stuff away. So kind of the construction of this dress is that this front panel is one single piece with the sleeves and everything. And it's got just a curve right here for the underarm. And this whole front panel is one single piece. The back panel is 3 separate pieces. So the seams are right here. It's the skinny middle piece and then the sides. Overall, the shape I love. I really like the shape of this dress. I think it fits me really well. I made the smallest size. The sleeves, though, didn't fit me that good. And I seem to often have trouble with this measurement, I think. I think this is called the arm sigh, and that's a term that I learned from Eva of The Charm of It. And I think that's what this is called. But the measurement from your underarm to right here, to like your neckline. And I think this measurement on me is shorter than maybe is standard or whatever. Because oftentimes I have trouble with my shoulder / underarm sort of area in sewing patterns. And this dress was no exception. So when I first made it, this whole area was just really baggy. There was a lot of extra fabric, and it was huge on me. Now it's meant to have some like gathering right here because there is no proper sleeve input. It's just like, this is all one piece of fabric. It's curved here. So all this fabric here is just meant to kind of like bunch up like that. And I've looked at a lot of pictures of other people's projects, and it just looked fine on everybody that I saw. But on me, it was like, when I would hold my arm down, like there was like a ton of fabric just bulging out right here and in the back. It was just like, whoosh, and it just did not look good. So because I didn't do a muslin or anything like that, as I tend to do a lot, I noticed the problems after I made it, and then I altered the dress from there. So pretty much what I ended up doing to fix it, and I think it's a lot better now than what it was before, is I took the dress that I made and I took in the whole shoulder, like this whole area here, almost down to the sleeve cuff. I took in probably like that much. And that's a little bit of a bummer when I have to do that, because then it messes up the beautiful, like smooth neck facing, like perfection. So now there's like 2 seams right here, which isn't that big of a deal, but still it's a little bit of a bummer because the neckline originally was just so nice and perfect with the facing and everything, but whatever. That helped a lot. I also took in the sleeves under the arm. So before they were a lot more like like that. But there was just way too much extra fabric and it was just bulging out on me very weirdly. So I took it in, not only like, I didn't just like true in the curve, I kind of made it more, instead of a curve like it was, I made it like a, so I squared it off a little bit more. And that worked. So I got rid of a lot of fabric up here and down here. And it fits me a lot better now. So if I make this pattern again, which I may or may not, I'm not sure if I like this dress enough to make it again, I would do two things differently. One, I would make it in a less stiff fabric, because this particular double gauze, it's very thin, it's very lightweight, but it doesn't have any drape to it at all. So I would use a fabric with some drape. I kind of thought that this dress would be good with something a little more structured because of the way the body is shaped. But I think something a little more drapey would help with the sleeves. I would also take down the this whole shoulder piece and a little bit of the underarm in the pattern itself and cut my fabric accordingly. Oh, and then I'd have to trim down the neck facing too, which I don't really know if I have the skills to do that and do it well. So we'll see. Like I said, I don't know if I'm in love with this dress enough to make it again. I like how it fits. I like the shape and the style, but it isn't necessarily my style. It's definitely something that's nice and professional and polished looking. And that's great. That's a great option to have in my wardrobe, but it's not something I wear a lot of. But I was really happy to use a pattern that I already owned and some fabric that I already had and get some sewing mojo out and flowing, and it felt really good, and I'm really ultimately really happy with it, with how it came out. And I really do like this fabric. It's super cute. It's this like flowery kind of, it's flowery but it's still dark, which I really like. So that's my Arum dress by Deer and Doe. Okay, I did think about this too. What I wish this dress was the whole shape of the dress itself, but I wish it had, what the heck, guys? It's like such a common term in knitting. I wish it had those sleeves that had the seam like this. Whatever. You know what I mean. The seam that goes like this. I wish it had those kinds of sleeves. I think that would look better. Also, there's no, it's just a pullover dress. There's no closures anywhere, which works fine, but it is a little snug to get over. Like the waist is really snug to get over the boobs as I'm putting it on, but it's fine. It works. Okay, so that is my first sewing FO. Yay! My second sewing FO is another garment. It did not work out great. I don't like it. But here it is. I might even try it on for you. I don't know. I made the Metamorphic Dress. So this is a pattern by Liberated. It's a very popular pattern. It looks good on so many people, and it does not look good on me. It's sad, but it's true. So I kind of knew that this dress wasn't my style, but it looks so good on so many people. And the people who wear it and look so good in it, their style is so cool that I wanted it to be my style. And it's just not, I guess, like, it just doesn't look that good on me. I feel like a little kid when I wear this dress. So this is it. And I haven't even hemmed it because I was so discouraged after I made it and tried it on. And it looks cool, right? It's a really beautiful pattern. It's just not for me. So it's got an empire waist, I think is what this is. It's sleeveless. And the waist is really high. It's like way up here. And then it's got a gathered skirt. It's got pockets. There's two different kinds of pockets. So it's reversible. This is one side. And it's got like these apron pockets on this side. And it's got a high-low hem. And then if you turn it inside out, which is a really cool thing that I did. I'm really happy that I made something that was reversible because that's just neat. So the other side is hot pink linen. And it's got these kinds of pockets. So the whole concept of this dress, and it's got like a regular hem, is so neat, and I love it so much. And so for this side, I used a very lightweight hot pink linen. For this side, I used this, it's like a cotton, I think it's cotton lawn. It's also very lightweight. And again, it's got these gathers here. And I don't know, you know, I could continue to try it on. Actually, this I feel like fit a lot better after I washed it. So I think I need to just finish this, hem it, and wash it, and then maybe see how it goes. But I tried this on after I was done making it, and I was just so discouraged. I was just like, this looks so stupid on me. Like, I do not want to ever wear this. I don't know. I mean, it just looks so good on so many people, and it just does not look good on me. But what, I'm going to try it on. I'm going to try it on for you, and I'm going to show you. And you may disagree, you may think it looks great, I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe I'll disagree, maybe now I think it looks great, I don't know, but we're gonna put it on, and here. Okay. So, here it is, and that's it. Tra-la-la. Like, I don't know, it's fine, I guess. Like, it's fine. I think it's just not my style. I don't know, this whole, like I feel like I said, I feel like a little kid in it. Like, I feel like this is what they put a doll in. Maybe it's because I'm really short. Like, I'm only 5 feet tall, so, like, wearing a dress like this is just, like... And, like, it cuts off right here, which I feel like is a little bit of a, you know, kind of a juvenile look, having this high waist. But also, like, the gathers are just so, like, blah. Like, I just feel like blah in this dress. Like, I do not feel like my best self in this dress. And I love the hot pink. I really wish, I think I'll buy more of this fabric maybe someday because I still really want a hot pink dress. But the pockets are cool, right? I mean, I could use it for like a house dress or something. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's fine. I don't know. I wish, you know what? I did try it on with a belt. And that looked pretty cool, but it was also very uncomfortable because it was just a lot of gathering. Like, I feel like if the waist was lower, maybe, and it, like, had some kind of cinching in at the waist. I think that's part of my problem is I feel like it doesn't accentuate any good shapes in my body. Like, I feel like it flattens this part out, which I don't need any help with. And it also, like, takes away any waist that I do have. And so I just feel like I don't know. Okay, here's the other side. See, like this side too is just like, I feel like even more of a little kid wearing this side. Because I feel like this fabric is really beautiful. I mean, look at that, it's gorgeous. But I don't know. I feel like I'm 12 years old in the early 90s, you know what I mean? Not my thing. I don't think I'm gonna make it again. Which is a bummer, because I was so excited about this pattern. I was so excited about it. And like I even that's one of the things is I put this sweater on over this dress, even though the patterns didn't match, I know, but I thought it could look good with the hot pink side. But just with the openness of the skirt under this thing, it was like, no. No, thank you, I'm good. Anyway, okay, moving on. Wait, I didn't even talk about sewing this thing. It was very time consuming to sew. It was very time consuming. It was really pretty simple. All of the components were really simple and well laid out. There was a tutorial on how to do some of the methods. And it wasn't hard, but it was very time consuming. And that's it. Yeah. Okay, that's all I gotta say about it. I'm moving on. I don't want to talk about this dress anymore. I'm gonna keep it on. It's not that bad. I think I need to hem it and wash it and see. I'll get back to you later on that. My next sewing finished object is the weirdest thing you will ever see in your entire life. What is this even? Why did I make this? What is this? It's a pyramid. It's a fabric pyramid with cherry pits in the bottom and fiber fill in the top. Polyfill. I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. I'm so weird. So this is a doorstop. Oh my gosh. This is a doorstop for my daughter Lucy's room. So she needed a doorstop because a lot of our doors don't have those like built-in doorstops with the springy things and the little rubber thing on the end. And so if the door opens all the way, the door handle, you know, smash into the wall and eventually it'll put a little hole in the wall. And not a hole, but like an indent. So we've been using various random things for doorstops in her room, like stuffed animals and things like that. So I've always wanted to make a doorstop, and I did it. And this came straight out of my imagination. What I did is I cut 5 triangles, thinking I needed 5, but I only needed 4. So it's 4 triangles just from random fat quarter fabric that I had in my stash, and I sewed them together. And I totally made up how to do it, and I'm pretty sure I did it the way you're supposed to do it when you do stuff like that. But I just sewed each piece together with the right sides together, and I kept adding on pieces, and then I flipped them all inside out, and I stuffed it, and then I sewed this up. And I filled it with cherry pits and fiberfill. And I don't know, it works fine, I guess. She kind of likes it. She plays with it. It's just a giant triangle. I made it really big. This is way bigger than it was in my imagination. I cut like 13-inch triangle pieces. That's just what I did, and it came out enormous. The fabric's really cute though. I've got this, which is fabric that I made the Dottie Angel frock in a long time ago. This is some super cute bear fabric. All of these fabrics, this one, and this one, these are arrows. I bought all those fabrics and the cherry pits a few years ago during Christmas time to make like hand warmers as Christmas gifts. And I made a bunch of those, and I have a bunch of leftover cherry pits and fabric from it. So, and then I had like a half a bag of fiberfill, and the whole thing went in here. Now I don't have any fiberfill. So that's my weird triangle doorstop. The last sewing project I don't have here to show you because it is weird. And okay, backstory. Colin and I purchased a new bed for the first time ever. It's my first new bed, and you can't even possibly imagine how excited I am about it. So the bed that we have always used is a hand-me-down from my parents. So the bed itself was about 25 years old. And it was a very high quality, wonderful bed when they bought it 25 years ago. But it has been through several owners and many years of use, and it was one of these beds that kind of went like this in the middle. And every time you moved, it would squeak, and it was horrible, and anyway, we finally bought a new bed. And we decided to go with one of those bed-in-a-boxes, and it's like a memory foam-like material that the mattress is made out of. And we like it so far. We've had it for about a week, and it's kind of like, we got it from Tuft & Needle, and the way they work is you have like a trial period. If you buy it, you try it. If you don't like it, what they do is they have a local organization come pick it up, and they donate it to that organization, and you get your money back, which is super cool. So we're still in the trial period. I think I like it, but we bought a king, which is crazy. Our old bed was a queen, and we decided to just F it, let's go luxurious and get a king and have a giant bed. So we did that, and so of course we have to buy sheets. And when you buy a sheet set for a king bed, it comes with the most enormous pillowcases ever. They're like, apparently king pillows are huge. We don't have king pillows. So we saw these pillowcases and we were just like, that's the weirdest thing we've ever seen. So I took in the pillowcases to fit our queen size pillows, or whatever, normal size pillows. That was great. Took like 2 seconds, and it was wonderful. I'm glad I did it, but I'm not going to show you my pillows because that's weird. Okay, also, so there's one more sewing thing I did, but it's in the trash now. I found this top. I was going through all my fabrics, like looking for this stuff, and I ended up tossing a bunch of scraps that I kept thinking that I would use them, but they were literally like scraps like that big. So I tossed a bunch of stuff. I found in there a top that I had made, which I think was the Akita top from Seamwork. And I made it years ago and I hated it. It was horrible. I didn't like it. I didn't like how it fit. I was bad at sewing at the time. I'm not great at sewing now, but I was really bad back then. And so instead of tossing it or whatever, I put it in my fabric box and I was like, I'm just gonna deal with this later. And I found it last week and I was like, oh, let's see how it fits. And I tried it on. It was still horrible. And it was horrible because it was just really boxy and it was in some like linen or something like that. So it was just really stiff and really boxy and it just bagged out in really weird ways. It didn't look good on me. So what I decided to do was add what I think may be called, they're not darts, they're like these like seams in the back. So I just picked 2 spots along my back and I sewed in a little bit, like down the length of the top in the back, and that made it fit like a lot better. And so I wore it one day, but then the underarms totally split as I was wearing it. I was wearing it while I was dyeing yarn, and as I was like moving around doing things, the fabric on the underarms, just like right here, just kept splitting, and eventually there was like a rip, like, I don't know, but that's what happens. So I was like, okay, forget this top, and I threw it away. That's my story. That's my sewing stuff. I have been getting really into sewing. I bought a couple more patterns. I bought some fabric and I'm really excited to continue sewing. I really want to keep trying to make clothes. I bought fabric to go with a bunch of patterns that I already have. So I buy patterns sometimes and then I never sew them. So I bought fabric for patterns that I already have so that I can go through my stash and just make everything and see what I think of it. And I also bought the pattern to make for Kristen of Voolenvine's Sew Along. I forget what, it's the Brumby skirt from Megan Nielsen Designs. I bought that skirt in the paper pattern form, so that's coming soon. So I'm going to sew along with her. If you're interested in checking out her sew along, I will link to her channel and you can check it out there. Okay, guys, I think that's it. I think that's all the stuff I've made. That's a lot of stuff. Is this a long episode? I don't know. The more I'm sitting in this dress wearing it, the more I'm okay with it. I don't know. Okay, so I'm just repeating myself. I just have to hem it and wash it and then maybe try to wear it around the house a little bit and then see how I feel. I feel like it's comfortable. At first I felt like the bust was even too tight and that's why it's like, oh, it's like smashing what little boobs I have down into nothing. But I feel like as I'm wearing it, it's like kind of, anyway, I gotta stop talking now because I'm gonna let you go because now I'm just like rambling. Oh, there's more stuff though. Oh, you guys, this is gonna be a really long episode. I'm not even done. I have a favorite section. Okay, there's 2 things I want to talk about really quick and I don't have them with me, so I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm gonna make this really quick. My favorites. I made a purchase. That's super rare for me to like actually buy stuff. So Landon of the A Trans Guy Who Likes to Knit podcast has the Crafticorn shop on Etsy. And I was looking through his shop and I found a couple things that I really needed. So I bought them and I'm going to show you. The first is a key ring and I actually put it on my keys. So these are my keys. So this is a super cool spacey key ring. It's a star. It's got glitter inside. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little moon right in the middle as well. And I love it. I don't know what this stuff, oh, there's the moon. I don't know what this stuff is called that he works with, but it's really cool. It's like this, like, I don't even know. I don't know what it is, but it's cool. I like it. The other thing I bought is a notions dish, and I already have all of my progress keepers in it, so I'm going to dump them out real quick. Excuse me. So I saw this notions dish in the shop and totally, completely fell in love with it, and I bought it because it's pink and it's sparkly and it's a heart, and I just want to eat it. It's beautiful. I love it so much. So that's the Crafticorn shop. It's got hand-dyed yarn in it and notions and stuff like that. So check that out if you're interested in that kind of stuff. His yarn is really beautiful as well. Yes. So Crafticorn and A Trans Guy Who Likes to Knit podcast is also really great and you should check it out. Another new podcast that came out really recently is super amazing. I love it, and I wanted to share with you guys. It is, sorry, I don't have it memorized yet, so I'm looking at my notes. I'm cheating. Sewn Knits, and that is with Andrew. And Andrew is a knitter who is also in California like me, so that's really exciting. And he's in the Sacramento area, and he is friends with Jillian from Good Witch Knits podcast, which is another one of my favorite podcasts, as you know. And so he did his very first episode like last week or something like that. And it's great. I love it. And he had Jillian on his first podcast for support, and they're just fantastic together. And then I hope he continues coming out with new episodes because I'm really excited about watching. And I think you should check it out too. So that is Sewn Knits on YouTube. And go show them some love. Both of them's podcasts. Okay, I'm done now. I don't know how this got so fast. How this got so like amped up at the end. Let's all take a breath together and chill a little bit before we part. Let's part on a chill, positive note. I think I possibly like my dress. Maybe. I hope you're all having a fantastic July. It is the last day of July, so I hope you have a good rest of your summer, or a good 2 weeks, because I'm going to see you in 2 weeks, so I don't know. I hope you're doing fun stuff. I love you guys. You are so awesome. Thank you for spending time with me and watching my YouTube channel. It means the world to me, and let's talk in the comments below. What are you doing? What are you thinking about? And if you happen to want to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, I would very much appreciate that. And okay, have fun and stay awesome, everybody. Bye.